Hey everyone, there is a new episode of my Patreon exclusive podcast, Maybe You Can Relate, available now to the patrons of the Rural Woman Podcast. You can get access to this full episode, plus extended episodes and patron-only episodes of the Rural Woman Podcast when you join the patron community over on Patreon at tier 10 or higher. Here's your sneak peek of the new Maybe You Can Relate episode. Hey folks, I'm Caitlin Dubin. You may know me from such podcasts as the Rural Woman Podcast, which you happen to be a proud member of the Patreon community, which is why you are hearing me through your earbuds right now. I'm coming to you from behind the mic in the Rural Woman Podcast studio for this exclusive patron-only podcast to share with you a bit more about me, my personal life, our farm, my family, the wins, the struggles, really just a little bit of everything. I wanted to create a space to share my story with a more intimate audience to build a stronger connection. My goal here is to share about the things I've learned, the good, the bad, and everything in between. And maybe, just maybe, you can relate. Here are just a few of the comments that have head my way. Looks like you don't need money to be a farmer. You just need to marry into it. She seems to have missed some parts. Inherit the land, equipment, and operating account balance, and then you're a farmer. It is just so easy for her. I like to read and hear stories of people who struggled to get where you are, not become a farm wife when you marry into it. And here are just a couple of the funnier ones that actually made me laugh out loud. This is a strange way to glorify moving back to your parents at the age of 30 to 40. Something that's important for all of us, self-care, which in this case, it was self-care through washing your hair. And if you're anything like me, washing your hair can feel like a luxury sometimes after you are so tired of being outside all day in the hot sun, lifting heavy things, and your arms feel like they're going to fall off, but you have clean hair and it feels wonderful. I think regardless of how this campaign was shared with folks, the underlying tone of the responses are sadly not a surprise to me. It's unfortunate that with all of the work that has been done for equality of women in all sectors, specifically agriculture here, we're still here talking about this. We're still here fighting for it. We're still being told that our titles and our roles are less than. Those comments that I read to you were mostly from men. And sadly, I've just come to expect that. But the ones that actually got me, that actually hurt me, were the ones from women. And I feel like that's where I get to come in. And that's where I'm committed to continue to work to amplify our voices, and those who are silenced, whether that be our gender, our race, our sexuality, any of those things. I chose a small piece here. I chose the women. You can help support the stories of women in agriculture to be shared through the Rural Woman podcast on Patreon. What is Patreon? It's a membership-based platform that helps fund and support creators like me to create and produce content like this that you all love. New to the Rural Woman podcast Patreon is ad-free listening and patron-only bonus content and exclusive episodes. Learn more and join the patron gang today at patreon.com/The Rural Woman Podcast. Thanks for listening to the Rural Woman Podcast. A special thanks to our Patreon executive producer, Sarah Riedner of Happiness by the Acre, and to my editor, Max Hofer. For show notes, head on over to wildrosefarmer.com. You can connect with me on social media using the handle @WildRoseFarmer on all platforms. If you love the show, make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to podcasts, plus share it with a friend. We'll see you next time.